really love the deck when Violent Outburst was legal. I played it a lot. I was having success with it. Then they went and banned Violent Outburst, and I kind of just didn't play it with Ardent Plea. So it is going to be played a little bit differently, I'd imagine, because you don't have the instant speed protection of doing everything. But this would be great if I had a Generosent. I do have two cyclers, three cyclers. This is a land, so I could just play this and pay 3 life if needed. So I'm going to keep, especially on the draw. So now I might not even need the sink into super, so I'm going to play the Flooded Strand here. Play the Flooded Strand, see what they do on their turn, and see what we cycle for. Right now, it's looking like it'll be a breeding pool. Let's see. I definitely need the green. I want to cycle. Okay. Probably do Meticulous Archive. If I have a land coming, I'll keep it on top because if I can keep the sink into super, probably just throw that into the graveyard. Because that's 3 creatures right now. Okay, Merfolk Trickster. Loses all abilities on turn. I don't really care about him having a 2/2 out into play. So I have Force of Negation. So we're gonna cycle another Curator, I believe. Get those 4/4 flyers. So that is going to see a Subtlety. What will I get rid of? Probably Architects of Will. So now we're going to Force of Negation. And we're going to get rid of Waker of Waves. So the question is, does he put it on top? Which I think he does. Which is not good for us. So we need a Cascader here. Let's go. That's not what we needed. But we do have a subtlety, actually, so I mean, it's not terrible. We're going to cycle this. We're going to cycle this. Hope to get that. Okay, and then we can play Sink into Stupor. Tapped. Well, we don't. And now he's going to play Harbinger. We'll have subtlety for it. And then Ardent Plea next turn. My game is thinking here. Exile blue card. He can't have Flare of Denial, so put it back on top. Okay. So the question is, do they run Force of Negation? Could just draw a Starless Agent here to not have to worry about it. Well, that's good. I mean, that gets me probably want to use that for planes. Not really sure right now, but I don't really care. Blue white. Gonna go Ardent Plea. All right. So Merfolk. Don't really know what they're bringing in. Let's take a look at their lists. Oh, they really fallen down. Okay, past 30 days then. No. Where are these lists? Are folks falling that far from the meta? All right, possible things they're bringing in. I mean, they have Harbinger of the Seas, really good against me. They're going to bring in Disruptor Flute. Um, so Disruptor Flute, potentially Damping Sphere. So they're going to bring in artifacts against me. Probably want something like this. Kind of like those. Subtleties are really good. I can take out a couple Wakers. Mystical Dispute's okay. I mean, it's one blue mana, counters pretty much anything. And then what do I shave? Don't really like the thought of cutting any griefs. But I did take out a couple Street Wraith. Could take out one grief. And one Architect of Will. I don't really want to take out another black card. Maybe take out one Sink, because it costs 3 mana. Basically, maybe I just take out the Sink into Stupors and just keep Mystical Dispute. It's kind of better, right? One blue mana, counter for 3. This takes 3. I guess this bounces. But it does cost 3 mana, but it does help against Harbinger. I don't know, we'll go with this for now. See how it works. Like Mystical Dispute just looks so much better here, doesn't it? Like so much better. Tide Shaper. They're not really doing anything to my. That's unfortunate to try that. It's also unfortunate he started with a cavern. Kind of makes my Mystical Dispute look worse. Sink into Super is probably better here. Yeah. He'll attack for 3. We'll cycle this. That was pretty good. I just need to get a couple cycles here. Harbinger. Can't counter it. So we're going to go ahead and get myself planes here. I don't run a planes? What in the hell? This deck isn't running planes? How the hell do I bounce that now? Huh. Well, I'm going to need the planes and the forest at some point. So I'll do this, see what I'm getting. So I need Brazen Borrower, I guess. I don't know how you don't run a basic planes in this. That would be good right now. um, unfortunately, doesn't do me any good right now. And I need to draw answers. Let's see. Need a third land. Need my third land there. Still hung up on the fact that this deck doesn't have planes. If I have planes there, then all I need is a third land, really. Now I just lose. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know why he didn't attack with Mutavault there. I'm tapped out. He must have some sort of counter spells or something. Hey, look, another island. All right, so mystical disputes. We're wrong. We'll bring these back in. Yeah, like this deck just needs another basic plains. Just a basic plains. I'd probably take out like the temple guard and put a basic plains in. Oh well. Let's get him this game. So knowing that, I'd like to go first, obviously. Do I have a grief? All right, but it's a one lander, and it's a land that I can't even use to cycle anything. I can't even keep this. All right, so that's technically two lands, so three lands, four technically. So blue green, I got my blue green here, so I don't have to worry too much about Harbinger this game. I'll probably drop. I don't want to drop a land because if I don't draw a land, I can't play Charlotte's Agent. I want to keep subtlety. I think I dropped the sink into stupor. Maybe I drop. Yeah, I'm gonna drop this, and I am on the play. So it's nice that I have the Charlotte's Agent, knowing I can go basic, basic. Harbinger won't affect me. I guess I can tap down my green now. What's going on here? So next turn, I'll play Meticulous Archive. And then I'll have my third land up to play Charlotte's Agent. It's actually pretty good because I can cycle this now and keep subtlety with Curator up if need be. Hopefully, this is a good creature I can just dump into the bin. It's not bad. He might not do anything here. He might just try to keep his Rishadan Dockhand up so I can't agent next turn. That's exactly what he's doing. No, it's not what he's doing. Okay. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays one. All right, so we're gonna go Exile Curator, play Subtlety. Now he's going to have the flare, is my guess. That's okay though. I mean, I have Generous and I'll have 4 lanes. I can agent the next turn. If he has the flare. If he doesn't have the flare, then we're looking pretty solid. If he has the flare, it gets a little tricky. Oh, he has his own subtlety. Okay. Doesn't matter because I'm going to Generous End here. Sacrifice a Merfolk, so you can have 2, so it's going to be tough to get this through now. We're going to go Hedge Maze. We'll put that into the graveyard. So next turn, I mean, in the next few turns, we'll have Charlotte's Agent up, but he's going to have every creature he plays, he's going to be able to sacrifice to make sure my living end doesn't go through. But I mean, that just means I wipe the board, I guess. So yeah, now he's keeping up a dog hand. I think I want to force the play here. Well, now he's going to tap down my Hedge Maze. So that's actually pretty good, right? Because now might have wanted to play the Lush Portico. That was a mistake there. So it's just now, end of turn, I can bounce the Rishadan Dock hand. And you'd have to sacrifice this to get 1. Let's see if I can get this through. We want to play Petty Theft. So he can flash in, but he didn't flash in anything before either. Do I just wait a turn now? Do I Lush Portico? So let me play Lush Portico. Let me see what's coming. We're going to put that into my graveyard. We put it on top. We'll put it into the graveyard. So if he flashes in another creature, counters, next turn he'll play that creature, and I can subtlety, and then that gives me another turn. I think leaving subtlety up is the best play here because it gets him to tap more land. He can't flash that creature in, but he could have another hex catcher that he could flash in. Could also just be giving him another opportunity to do it. He hasn't played anything else since, so he might even have a counter spell for the Charlotte's Agent. He might have. Do I just go for the win here, or do I play it safe? If I play it safe, he can easily try into something. What could he have? He could draw another one-drop creature, right? Um, and then that just kind of. I'd have the mana to play it. He'd have to play two creatures. He could have Sink into Stupor, Shauna's Tidebinder. I think waiting. Yeah, I think waiting is going to be the best play here. He does have Merfolk Trickster too. So he didn't flash anything in. So now if he plays that, I have the hard cast subtlety for it. So now he only has two Merfolk. He doesn't have anything that he can flash in for one mana. So I think I'm free to play the Charlotte's Agent next turn. All right, I'm glad I did that. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else he can do? I mean, he already played a land, so he's only got one land here. Flare of Denial takes out any spell. He's probably got the flare, but I mean, I can't play around that. Like, next turn is just. It's the only opportunity I have. Can't really play around flare anyway here. Can't do much about a flare, but consigned to memory. That's a thing. So I think I just subtlety my Charlotte's Agent back on top of my library. Hope he doesn't have another creature, but then I've. It's the only play I got. Oh, he's just gonna tap one of my lands. I won't be able to play it anyway, right? Shit. Yeah, that wasn't really a good play there because again he just taps one of my lands, has two creatures. This is going to be tough to get around now. I still think I slam it down anyway and force him to. I think I just got to slam it down. Force him to sacrifice to get this lock off of me. So if I draw another Charlotte's Agent, because now he has to sacrifice his Richard and Dock hand. Now he has to sacrifice his Vidalian. Now, simple top deck can get us there. See what happens. And I do have my Brazen Borrower I can bring in. I might even be able to just start attacking with that. That was a good draw. Now we're attacking for 5 a turn. I'll take it. Consigned to memory. That was not on the list that I looked at. I don't care about Vile. I've already got one out, and it's doing nothing. It's a shame I don't have any Surveil lands left to search for. We'll go with Breeding Pool. Oh, I don't have Black Land. Damn, I would have loved to have just hard cast this. Let's cycle. I don't want to Ardent Plea here, just because I have the Force of Negation. I want to have the mana up. I also feel like I'm just gonna get there with these creatures here. And we got there. Whew. Showed his hand. That was a good match one. So while I didn't play around the consigned to memory, I still think it was the best play to jam there. And while I didn't think it was a good idea to put the Charlotte's Agent back up top, but it really was because it forced him to sack both creatures he had. I was able to just keep attacking each turn, and really just came down to who's going to top deck better, and my deck will just top deck better. So Sink into Stupor seems really good in this deck. It works with Subtlety, works with Force of Negation, and it's a bounce spell slash counter spell, sort of. Can act as a land. Pretty good addition. So we got a 1-lander, really a 2-lander. We have Subtlety, we have Grief. Misty Rainforest can get us green-white. I can play this Sink into Stupor or the Soporific. I'm on the draw. So I can play this tapped and then turn to Misty Rainforest into Waker. We've got Subtlety. I'm happy with this. So we're going to play this tapped. Would have liked to have drawn a black card there for Grief. Nice thing though is like we'll keep Grief up for the turn that we play Shardless Agent. So we'll get a Temple Garden with the Misty. Looks like we're going up against like blue-black, Murktide maybe. Could be blue-black Scam. Right now it definitely looks like Murktide. Get ourselves a Temple Garden. Well, put Grief into our hand, I guess. Or, no, we'll put Living End into our hand. So now we can Grief this turn. If he has 2 counter spells, that would suck. And he does. Well, shit. So he has Drown in the Luck, destroy target creature, or counter target spell with mana value less than or equal to the number of cards in the graveyard. So that gets counter target non-creature spell. That hurts us. Counter target spell with mana value 2. Don't care about that. Care about the Spell Pierce and the Drown in the Lock. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Spell Pierce, force him to play Drown in the Lock, and then I'll have the Subtlety up for Bowmaster or Regent, depending on what he ends up playing. Just bites. I wanted him to only have 1 counter there, but we got to do it. Because now he'll Drown in the Lock. So he can't play Bowmasters this turn. We'll have Subtlety for Bowmasters or Regent. He'll probably play Regent. And then I'll have a hard cast Subtlety up. Oh, he revealed. Okay, so he drew a Scald and turn then. So now he might actually try playing both. I don't really care about the Bowmasters, honestly. Care more about the Murktide Regent, which is what he's playing right now. We're going to cast by exile blue card. Exile blue card. Let's just top deck a Shardless Agent one time. That wasn't a Shardless Agent. Is that a tell or what? Take 3 to put it into play untapped. Play your Bowmasters. I dare ya. I mean, he he sees that. I guess he wants to play into it, which is fine. She's got Island, Spell Snare in hand. I have 5 power on board. I have a Cycler. He needs to top deck really well. That deck can top deck really well. He's got a lot of cantrips. Played an Island. I was going to say Geomarkside. So he's got a 3/3 flyer. No! Why would I draw a Living End? Let's see. So I just attack for 3. I don't want him. I mean, he could just block here. He would take 3. Let's do this. Not really what I want to draw. I mean, I guess it protects what I'm doing here, but he'll block the Charlotte's Agent, take 3, go to 10. Can't really make it a flyer. If he blocks, he just starts discarding to Psychic Frog. I lose. I'm just going to lose anyway. I think I just hold back now. Because he's going to block all day, and then he's got a Murktide Region in his graveyard if I try into Cascader here. block here, my guy dies. His guy lives, so I think I just have to block the Murktide now. Or do I just take it this turn? Or do I force him to discard 2? My subtlety dies. And then he just wins next turn. I mean, I have to play to win. If I put subtlety in my... I'll take 3. Yeah, I think I just block the Murktide here. I can handle him having 1 Murktide. Should I get a Cascader? I did like the thought of forcing him to discard 2 cards to save that, though. He does draw a card now, which kind of sucks. Cascader, let's go. That's not looking good. So I just got a full grip. And I'm drawing dead. Come on. Alright, so we know he has a spell snare. He just used 2 counter spells. I need a Cascade or Bust. I need to get Living End next turn or I just lose. Because that'll put me to 5. He'll have 4 cards to discard to just win. Yep. So next turn. And he kept a card on top. So that's not good. He has 3 here. I think he can just... Should probably get Preordain on top then. Can discard 3, 4, 5. Puts me to 2. He won't discard anything here. Tries 2, 1 top, 1 bottom. So you put Consider on top. Left a card on top. That's never good. So even if I draw and get Living End, I think he's just got the counter spell here. I feel like I played the best I could with the cards I was dealt. Because even if I had blocked the Psychic Frog and forced him to discard 2 cards, he would have killed my creature and then played the next Psychic Frog anyway. And that's just game. Salties were really good there, just not good enough. Do I bring in Endurance against him, or do I bring in Leyline? I don't know if Leyline's really a great play, but Endurance is nice because it is a flying creature. Play it early enough to keep his Murktides from coming down. What else does that deck try to do? Blue black, blue black. Hmm. Mirror mid range. There we go. It's not really the same list. Here we go. So they've got Nihil Spellbomb. Yeah, I mean, not much I really want to do. I think this is fine. Could do this. I hope I hit submit in time. That was close. Alright, I like this. So Flooded Strand, I will get Hollowed Fountain, Generous Scent, get Temple Garden or Lush Portico. I have Grief. I want to wait to Grief. Get Breeding Pool. And then I can get Temple Garden. Hollowed Fountain. I can get Hedge Maze. I'll do Hollowed Fountain. Yes. And then we'll pay blue. We'll cycle this. Because if I draw a land, I won't have to. Land. I think I like this untapped because then I can end of turn cycle this. Or this tapped. Put this into play tapped. I'll have the Generous Ent, or I can do the Generous Ent. Yeah, we're going to play this tapped. End of turn, Generous Ent, and then I'll have what I need for the following turn. I'll have Wager Waves with the Force of Negation for anything he does, which I don't think he'll have anything. I'll need to worry about. That is a Psychic Frog. Now this needs to come into play untapped. Probably get just Breeding Pool here. Meant to grief, just in case, and I didn't. And that is a huge mistake here, because he's gonna have the force. Oh, he didn't. He's got surgical extraction though. I really needed the grief. I really fucked that turn up. I'm literally only getting 2 creatures now. What a mistake that was. God, that was such a big mistake, man. Do I want to stack theirs? Stack mine. I want to stack mine. Do I just grieve them now? I think I do. Got to see what he's just frustrating. He may have just, yeah, he's got 3 lands. I guess even if I did grief, he just responds in surgical extractions, right? So would have happened either way. But then I could have. Would he have discarded both creatures? I wouldn't have wanted to take a creature anyway. So this is a tough matchup. I think Psychic Frog's really good. Being able to discard his creatures and get them back into play, pretty solid. I mean, he can only gain flying until end of turn. A couple times, I guess. But now that I think about it, I just lose next turn. Or not. Did he just help me out a ton there? He did. If he blocks Architects of Will, he made a huge mistake by wiping out his graveyard there. So we're going to cast Living End. We're going to stack his. Going to stack his top 3 cards. Of course. So we're going to put Psychic Frog last. Then we're going to do Consider. And then we'll give him Subtlety. So we know he has Subtlety in hand. And then he has Consider coming. He's going to play the Consider. And we'll just Force of Negation. Good game. Whew. All right. This is a tough one. So we didn't get anything in. Okay. Mystical Dispute's good. Brazen Borrower's nice. A couple of Endurances, maybe. Hey, these are supposed to be matching. Probably that. Maybe. Because that's a land. Maybe I'll do this. Not bring in all three. So I just won that without even sideboarding. All right. I just like endurance to be able to cut out that Murktide quickly. If he discards creatures and I have endurance to wipe out his graveyard prior. If he has Psychic Frog. I don't know what I just said. If I said endurance or Murktide. Nonetheless, if he has Psychic Frog out and he tries to discard creatures in response to my living end, I can endurance and take out his graveyard. All right. So we have one land, technically two lands. This isn't a bad hand at all. Kind of wish this was an untapped land, but we'll keep. If we can draw an untapped land, that'd be a really good start. What do you know? Got there. I think we want to subtlety, get rid of the Architects of Will. See what they do. Put it on top of their library, okay. Then end of turn, I'll get a breeding pool here. Untapped. And then I'm gonna cycle Curator. Um, so if we generous Ent, I probably shouldn't have gotten a breeding pool there. I should have gotten the breeding pool with a generous Ent. Because I want to be able to cycle at the end of my next turn. I now won't be able to. I can meticulous archive to see if I want to cycle Architects of Will or Generous Ent. So I probably want to just put that on top to keep it to be able to draw and cycle it into my. No, we'll do that. So the nice thing about Architects of Will here is I have Force of Negation. He's probably just going to play the Psychic Frog anyway, though. Do I Architects of Will or Generous Ent? Well, I need the third land, right? We're going to just Force Cycle. Get the Temple Garden. So they could have Consigned to Memory. I think we just go for it, knowing that we just drew that. Well, here's the thing, right? I have one. I only have 3 creatures in my graveyard. I think I just do it anyway. That's fine. So next turn, we'll just play the other Shardless Agent. All right. That's pretty much game. I mean, I can still hardcast all my stuff, minus the Architects of Will. So it's kind of frustrating. That's what's in my hand right now. He only has 1 card in hand, so, I mean, it's not necessarily game. Yeah, gonna force you to discard all day. Does not look good for me. That doesn't help. Cycle this. Where do we get it? That doesn't help. I needed Brazen Borrower. Borrower. It's something. Doesn't help at all, actually. I get one block. Really needed endurance there earlier. So he has to discard both cards to save his Psychic Frog here. Oh no, only one. It's already a 2/3. But it's, yeah, it was. That's more like it. Now, the only thing I can do is concede. Because I can bounce that. But I still cannot. Yeah, just too late. Alright, we're 1-1. Alright, I'll play first. Alright, already starting off pretty good. I'm gonna start by Digital the Street Wraith to get them. I mean, we'll play the Flooded Strand. I'd go for Hollowed Fountain because this can give me the breeding pool when I need it. Street Wraith, I will cycle on their turn. See what we got going here. Figured I'd see if I could get a subtlety. Probably should have done this first anyway, but get ourselves a Hollowed Fountain. Then we're gonna Forest Cycle. Get ourselves breeding pool. Get ourselves probably get ourselves a forest. Uh, we'll do this, and then we'll have Waker of Waves up. It's a lot of Shardless agents. Tax me for 0. So we're going to be playing around a lot of counter spells. Definitely want grief. Can I just draw a black card now? To discard 2 grief. I cannot. Gonna wait until next turn. I want to see if I can get something for grief. He's just got so much mana now. He's got to play something. I've got to play the agent. He's just got too many cards in hand. I need to force something here. He's going to counter. Invert polarity. Oh boy. That's a. Oh boy. He won the flip. It doesn't really matter, does it? Actually, because it's going to happen no matter what. Now I think about it. So, subtlety. Will just be done. Wasn't even thinking. Yeah, he gains control of living it. It still goes off. It still does what I want it to do. So and now he's going to have a board wipe. Arch of the Multitudes for 3, 4, 5. Gets rid of 1, 2. So, I mean, he'd still take 8, 15. He'd be at 1. All right. So, Jeskai control. Consign to memory. Soul Guide Lantern. They're going to have Dranith Magistrate. And Teferi Time Reveler, essentially. Dranith Magistrate, Teferi Time Reveler. They're going to have the 1 ring, so I want this. Soul Guide Lantern. It's okay. Nothing I want Foundation Breaker for. Could bring in Endurance. Not gonna do much there. Foundation Break is good against. They're gonna have Solitude, Subtlety. Mystical Dispute's okay. I think I need the Borrowers against Stranded Magistrate though. I don't know if Subtlety's really where I want to be. Try that. I feel like Grief is where I really need to just hammer away their hand. Dreadeth Magistrate's a big problem though. One lander, two lander, into some cyclers, into Ardent Plea and Charlotte's Agent. Brazen Borrower to end of turn. Bounce Dreadeth Magistrate. It's a keep. So we're going to cycle a Generous Ent into a Breeding Pool. So we'll get probably get an island here. No, we'll get Olive Fountain because we're going to want the get Breeding Pool. And now I've got Brazen Borrower up. I don't want to. I'd rather just cycle. Ooh, they have no lands. That's good. So we're going to force cycle. Actually grab the forest. Gonna cycle Carrot of Mysteries here. That was a huge grief. That is freaking fantastic. That's not so much, but we'll cast by exiling Living End. See what we're working with here. Probably has multiple counter spells, but okay. He has the Drannith Magistrate. Why didn't he play that? So he has Drannith Magistrate. He has Consigned to Memory. Mystical Dispute can counter the Ardent Plea. Consigned to Memory will stop the Shardless Agent. Counterspell will stop anything. I mean, I have the answer to Drannith Magistrate. We'll get rid of the counterspell. He's just not gonna play it. Play Ardent Plea. He's gonna cast Mystical Dispute. Oh, he's kind of the triggered ability, yeah. So he still has Mystical Dispute. Next turn, I'll Shardless Agent. He'll have. Well, this will be the turn that he plays Draneth Magistrate if he's gonna play it. I would just have to hope to draw land. I doubt he's gonna play it. He's gonna keep his dispute up. So now he'll do Mystical Dispute. Oh, he can't. Actually, so he might have something else here. Counterspell. So he still has the dispute. I have to play Shardless Agent in case he has. But I am at 5, so that's. He could just burn me out here. Alright, I win.